Spill the beans. Former Chief Secretary of Delhi, Umesh Sehgal, speaking to Times Now, making some sensational revelations on Operation Pehal. Listen in.
Sir, my first question to you is that this entire controversy has now become a political slugfest also. Blame game has also started. But how do you see this entire matter that 45 crore have been spent for the renovation of the CM house in Delhi?
Well, the amount seems excessive. But from what I read in the newspapers, it's not just the renovation of the building. It is also the interior decoration, the curtains, the carpets or whatever was there. Even then the amount seems excessive. But if it is there, it is there. I mean, somebody must have approved it. And there are competent authorities in government who can approve this. And the propriety of the approval can also be questioned, may also be questioned, I don't know. There needs to be a proper preliminary inquiry into this. Because 45 crores for howsoever big the building may be. I mean, even you can buy a house in a posh part of South Delhi today, a 4-story building, you can buy for much less than this. Or maybe 20, 30, 40 crores, and most luxurious buildings in Gurgaon, in the most posh areas, are available at 1/3 the price of this. So 45 crores is quite a big amount, and it needs to be looked into, not as a political issue, but what have the bureaucrats been doing? There must have been an engineer who must have made the estimates. There must have been a secretary who signed who approved the estimates. There must have been a finance department which must have gone into it. All these aspects need to be looked into. And I'm talking just of the official part of the whole thing. And if all that is okay, then it's okay. Then there's nothing that can be done. Then the budget provision also has to be seen. If there was a proper budget provision made for this, a proper approval of the legislature was taken for this specific purpose. So all that has to be looked into.
So you were the Chief Secretary. You must have also visited the CM residence. But now it is being said that that premises has been expanded. The house which was nearby the CM residence there at Flagstaff Road, that has now also been included in the premises of the CM residence.
I was living there in the neighboring house in the 70s when I was Finance Secretary, and next door was this house, 6 Flagstaff Road, where the Chief Minister moved in now. This was an official residence of the Chief Secretary, and it was made, to the best of my knowledge, in the 70s, not in the 40s as some newspapers are claiming. Maybe there was some building there in the 40s, but that was demolished, and this Chief Secretary's complex came in the 40s. And before the present Chief Minister moved in, it was always occupied by Chief Secretaries, and for many years. And it was a big house compared to our house, which was next. I mean, I was in 8A. 8A was single unit, double story. This was single story, 5 bedrooms. It was a big house, huge, lush compound. So it was a biggish house. And it had a small outhouse also as an office, Chief Secretary's office. So, well, having built in the 70s, probably needed extensive repairs. But repairs of 45 crores is a little too thick.
But sir, that house is now being converted into a 2-story building, and the neighboring house has also been included in the premises of the CM residence now.
That's news to me, because this was big enough. It was, if I'm not mistaken, over an acre of lawn. And this, the house in which I was living, which was next door, could be just 500, 600, 800 square yards, if I'm not mistaken. So to add, have 5,000 square yards and 800 square yards to it doesn't make any sense. Except unless, of course, there has been security advice, in which case there were 2 houses there, 8A and 8B. Both of them should have been included. So I don't really know. I've not been to that area recently. But I do feel that converting it into a double-story house is something which is okay. But the point is, if the earlier building was already dangerous, and as the roof was falling off, etc., how is it that another story could be added to it? How could another floor be added? It was designed for a single-story building. What about the foundations? There must have been some technical reason for it. And let us not forget that I don't think the Chief Minister has moved out during all this. In the last 2 years he was living there. So during the period he was living there and the building is said to be dangerous, how was another floor built on it? So I think engineers have to answer this. This is not for the chief minister to answer, but this is definitely for the engineers and the bureaucrats there to answer. How was such a thing to be happened? And then you took a decision. There is the Urban Art Commission and all. Did you take their approval? Now all these factors have to be kept in view, and for that a proper preliminary report has to be there. A preliminary inquiry has to be there. And we can't just go on newspaper reports and allegations made by a political party, because those allegations will be made no matter what you do. So I am not giving importance to that. I would like a proper investigation. I think it is in the interest of the Chief Minister himself to have a proper inquiry so that the facts come out.